I thought I would post a second video today inviting you to join Hillsdale Baptist Church for worship this Sunday. Now, our Sunday school hour, our Adult Bible Fellowship Bible Study hour, is at 9:15 a.m. That is taught by my associate, Pastor Brian Barber. The morning worship is at 10:30. Now, Hillsdale Baptist Church is a traditional worship church. We don't have the banging of the drums and the beating of the guitars. We don't have any of that. What we do have is excellent, beautiful, God-honoring music. Beautiful anthems, sometimes special music that is quartet music, often with instruments, strings. We would love to invite you to join us for worship this Sunday. You can find us at hillsdalebaptist.org. Now, I also wanted to share with you a challenge that I have in the bulletin this Sunday. And the title of this little challenge is found in 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. Well, we live in perilous times indeed. We're living in dangerous, trying times. But I wanted to remind you who are believers that God is sovereign and He has not abdicated His throne. Peter, writing to first century believers, wrote these words in 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 7. Casting all your care, that is all your anxiety, all your worry, casting all your care upon Him, upon the Lord, for He careth for you. The word careth is He cares and He cares and He keeps on caring. You know, I often find myself carrying burdens that are just too heavy to bear alone. Uncertainties, fears, anxiety, sickness, rejection, and yes, sin will rob us of joy, stifle our spirit, and will potentially drain us of health and even life. And so what are we to do when fears and anxieties come nigh to overwhelming us? Well, that answer is found in 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 7 through 9, and 4 answers to that question. What do we do when we feel overcome with fear and anxiety? Number 1, remember the Lord cares, and He keeps on caring for you. His love and concern for you is unfathomable. Number 2, be on your guard, for the devil never tires of seeking whom he may devour. 1 Peter 5:8. Number 3, fight and resist in the Spirit of God, the pressure to yield to the wiles of the devil and his allies. Stand firm in your faith. 1 Peter 5, verse 9. And then lastly, number 4, remember, as you go through sorrows and troubles and you feel almost overwhelmed, remember you are not alone. In fact, 1 Peter 5 verse 9 goes on to tell us that there are many, many believers who are suffering the same burdens and temptations. Sadly, I think we live in a day today where people are afraid to admit that they are vulnerable, that they're hurting. And what a tragedy that is, because we then do not have an opportunity to pray for one another. Now, my message this Sunday morning, and I want to invite you to that service. I'll be preaching in the 10:30 service on this title, Ministering in an Age of Apostasy. It will be part 2, 2 Timothy chapter 4, verses 1 through 4. I'm going to give you this Sunday morning 5 spiritual mandates for believers, 5 marching orders that Paul gives Timothy in the closing words of this epistle to that young preacher. 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 2, we read the words. 1, preach the word. 2, be instant, in season, out of season. Share the word of God when it's convenient and when it's not convenient. When it's accepted and when it's rejected. Number 3, reprove. Number 4, rebuke. Number 5, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. I think one of the great tragedies of the 21st century church is that not only do we not fulfill the calling of preaching the word, understanding we have to be constant about it. We have to be reproving, which means to convict. We have to be willing to rebuke. We have to be willing to exhort, both with patience, long-suffering, and in doctrine. I hope if you're not going to a church that is fulfilling that call, that you will find a biblical church like that of the New Testament. And so I encourage you, join me this Sunday morning as we continue our study of 2 Timothy chapter 4. God bless you. Thank you for listening to this. Again, hillsdalebaptist.org is the website in which we broadcast our services live from Tampa, Florida. God bless and bye-bye.